In this video, I'll show you how to get set up on Bybit and start trading on their platform. So come to the Bybit website and then click register now. You just need an email address and a password so you can set that up yourself. If you're brand new to crypto or trading, you can set up demo trading as well. So once you've got an account, go to tools and then demo trading, and that allows you to trade in what looks like the live Bybit trading platform, but it's paper cash, so you can actually practice first before trading with any real money if you have a Bybit account, and that's free to register for as well. So you can do that. Now, if you are signing up for Bybit for the first time, the link in the description gets you a special bonus. So whatever you deposit on the platform, they'll give you a deposit bonus to go ahead and trade with, all the way up to $30,000. So if you want to sign up with that, that's a special bonus that you can get whenever you make a deposit by that link as well. There's a rewards hub, so you can go to there as well. If you do certain actions, they may give you extra rewards, but the deposit bonus is special via that link if you want to click it. Now, once you've signed up for an account, we need to go up here to our account icon and then go to account here. You just need to set up your identity verification. So every financial company is going to ask for this. So ID verification in account info. Go to verify now on the right hand side. You just have to choose where you live, where you're resident, and then give them a form of ID. So a copy of your passport or ID card or driving license or something like that. And you can choose exactly where you live. Some countries can't trade on Bybit, others are absolutely fine. Bybit just got registered officially in Europe, so you should be absolutely fine if you live there, and a lot of other countries as well. Some countries cannot trade on Bybit though, so you'll have to figure that out for yourself. Once you've done your ID verification though, you can actually deposit cash in and start trading on Bybit. Bybit will also push you to add some security and authentication methods to your account. So in your same account tab on the left-hand side, click security. You can add whichever ones that you're comfortable with. So obviously email and login password is required. I wouldn't recommend SMS authentication in case you may get SIM swapped, or if you're out of the country that you live in on holiday or something, are you going to be able to receive those SMS messages? Maybe not. So I would recommend against that. If you use Google Authenticator, which most people do for at least one or two accounts, you can add this for Bybit as well. This is a free app from Google, and it gives you a 6-digit code that you can put in whenever anything important is happening to your account. So if you're withdrawing money, if you're trying to reset passwords or anything like that, it will ask you for the Google Authenticator code, which is 6 digits and refreshes every 30 seconds. Just make sure you know exactly how to use that though, because if you lose your phone with Google Authenticator on it, it can become a little bit of an issue to recover. So make sure that you are aware of Google Authenticator. You can also set up passkeys, which may be a little bit easier, which is basically the same thing as Google Authenticator. It just uses either iCloud or Google Android to actually set up your own key pair, your crypto key pair. And then if anything important happens on Bybit, they're going to ask you for your biometrics on your phone or on your computer if they have them. So you can set that up as well. And then a fund password. You don't have to have this if you have Google Authenticator or passkey set up, but this is something that you can add, which is a completely different password to your login password. And if you're withdrawing from the platform or doing anything important, it's going to ask you for that before it happens, just so that if your account does somehow get hacked, you've got those extra methods in before anything important happens on the account. On Bybit, we segregate our assets into different accounts depending on what we want to do with them. So if you click assets up here, this is an overview of the total value of all the assets that you have on the platform. And then we'll click this one and we can see the different accounts here, like funding account, unified trading, earn. So we'll click assets here. That takes us through to the page. And you can transfer assets between the accounts, obviously instantly and for free because you're just transferring them internally. So we have an overview here. Funding account is where your cash goes. Fiat currency or any crypto that you don't want to trade with, you can put it in funding account and you know that nothing is going to happen to it there. Unified trading is where you put assets that you want to trade with. And then, for example, earn, this is where you put assets into the earn platform. They're segregated from any trading balances. So you can see them on the left-hand side here. And if you want to transfer assets from one to the other, for example, from your funding account into unified trading to go ahead and trade with the asset, we can come up to transfer in the top right-hand corner. So transfer. If you have any assets on the platform, you can transfer them from funding into unified trading or back again, and you can choose any asset that you have here very easily. And the amount, you can just choose the amount, and that switches them between funding, where nothing happens, into unified trading, where you can trade with them. But obviously what we want to do is deposit some funds into the platform first. In order to deposit money into Bybit, go to the top right-hand corner of the screen and click deposit. And then it's going to take us through to the crypto deposit screen, which I'll show you in a second. But if you want to deposit fiat currency, go to the top right-hand side here where it says fiat deposit, click that. Now, depending where you live in the world and which currency that you're using, you may find this easier or just not available at all. So Bybit is fully regulated in the EU now, so euros are very easy to send in. In other countries where you're not allowed to trade or where you have a smaller currency, the support may be very patchy. I know in, for example, Brazilian real, you can deposit in through the PIC system very easily. Dollars, pounds, not supported on Bybit as of making this video. So euros here, and then choose the deposit method. Easy bank payment, 0.08% is the fee plus a €30 flat charge. SEPA, if you want to use that, a little bit more expensive, but pretty decent for the charges. So let's go easy bank transfer, press continue. Now what you have to do is complete a questionnaire about where you live and what you're going to do with fiat currency on the platform. So let's go ahead and see the questions here. So these are fairly straightforward. They just need to get some information for regulatory requirements about how much you're going to deposit on the platform and everything like that. So go ahead. I'm going to press fiat deposit, fiat withdrawal here. Let's say 5 to 100,000. Go next. Just say what you are, etc. Nationality and residence is important. So you have to prove your residence. That will be with either a bank statement or utility bill or something like that. This is what you have to do with fiat currency. Go ahead. Once you've done all of that and you've given them, residence proof, then you can go ahead and actually deposit some euros into the platform. They will give you their bank details, right? So you just put that into your bank when sending a deposit. What I would do is send over a very small amount first, just to check that everything's okay. Once you've made that deposit in, you can deposit more. And then once you've made that deposit, you can also withdraw very easily as well, because the bank you use to deposit in will be linked, and then you can withdraw funds to the bank you use to deposit in as well. So once you've done that, you can actually deposit euros or any of the other supported currencies. If you've got crypto on a different platform that you want to deposit into Bybit, you can do that very easily. Maybe you want to just get the deposit and trading bonus, or maybe Bybit just has cheaper trading fees than the current platform that you're using. You can withdraw it from that platform, deposit it into Bybit. So I'm sure you know how to do this already, but we just need to choose the asset that we're sending in and make sure that the chain is accepted. So we're going to click USDT. And then the chain, all major chains are supported. Wherever you're sending from, they will allow you to withdraw crypto via various networks. If it's BNB chain, then you have to deposit to BNB chain in Bybit. If you're using Ethereum, you have to get your Ethereum address. If you're using Tron, you have to get your Tron address for Bybit, right? So just make sure wherever you're sending from, that Bybit accepts the asset that you're sending and the chain. So whichever one, you can see all the major chains are supported here. So I'll just choose BNB. And this is the deposit address for USDT on the BNB Smart Chain. If you want to get your Ethereum address or Tron address, just go through that same process. This is your address to send it to. We can also withdraw crypto very easily. So go back into your assets page here. And if you want to send crypto out of Bybit, just go to withdraw in the top right hand side. It's going to give you a list of assets that you can withdraw, and then it's going to ask you, where do you want to send it? So let's go and withdraw some Bitcoin, for example. If you've bought Bitcoin, you want to take it into your own wallet. It's going to ask you, well, where is the wallet address that you're sending to? So go ahead and get that. I'm going to click the Bitcoin network here, and then we're going to choose the amount that we want to send out, and then we need to get our address. So if you're using a hardware wallet or a software wallet, or you have your Bitcoin address, paste your Bitcoin address in here, and that's it. What you can also do is add your addresses to a whitelist. As you can see down at the bottom, it says add a withdrawal address. That is an address that you don't need to qualify when sending out. So if you're sending out for the first time, you will get a code to your email address. If you've got Google Authenticator, you may have to put that in as well. But you can add them to a whitelist so that next time you withdraw to that specific address, you don't have to go through that process. So add your wallet address in here if you want to withdraw from the platform. If you've deposited fiat currency into Bybit to trade with, then make sure that you trade that trading pair with the crypto that you want to buy. For example, if you've deposited euros into Bybit and you want to buy Bitcoin, you can directly trade euros to Bitcoin in Bybit. So in the spot trading screen, go to spot here. This is where you buy and sell crypto and you cash settle, right? So you immediately settle. And if you're buying Bitcoin here, that is your property. You own the Bitcoin and you can withdraw it from the platform. That's where most people will be trading and investing. So Bitcoin, ETH, you can see them all here. But if you're depositing cash into Bybit, go up to the top left and we want to find the trading pair for cash. So you can see euro trading pairs here. This is these cryptocurrencies versus euros cash. There's also Brazilian real here, I think Polish zloty, Turkish lira. I'm sure they'll add more in the future. But if you're depositing fiat currency, get that fiat currency into your unified trading account so that you can trade with it. So you can transfer in the spot trading screen as well. Go to transfer. You can transfer those assets from your funding account to your unified trading account. As you can see here, choose them. Once you've got the cash, make sure to choose the cash trading pair. So I'll click this one. This is euros versus Bitcoin, right? So you want to sell the euros, buy Bitcoin. That's how to do it. Now, if you're using another another cryptocurrency to trade, a lot of people trade with USDT or USDC. These are US dollar stable coins. So once you're in crypto, you usually trade in and out of crypto versus stable coins. Most people do this, so that's up to you. But you can choose the crypto pair versus the stable coin. So if I choose this one here, this now is Bitcoin against USDT. So the exchange rate is a little bit different because dollars have a different exchange to euros. And then you're trading one crypto for the crypto stablecoin here. Now I'll show you how to buy and sell on Bybit, and that's on the right-hand side. We obviously have a chart of the exchange rate of the two assets that we're looking at right here. So this is Bitcoin against US dollars because it's a US dollar stablecoin. So Bitcoin has moved up in price versus dollars over this time frame. If you want to just choose the time frame, you can just scroll along here. And if you want to change the scale, you can do that here. Right click, reset chart view. That brings you back to kind of the normal chart view here. So what we want to do is go ahead and trade. This is the order book right here. So down here you have buyers, up here you have sellers. In the middle, this is the price that a buyer and seller is actually agreeing to trade at. So obviously these sellers, this is the cheapest seller down here. Prices get more expensive up here. These are real people that have put their orders onto the system, and they're showing their orders to other people saying, I am willing to sell Bitcoin at these prices. On the right hand side, this is the total quantity of Bitcoin available at that price. So if you're a buyer, you can see all of that. If you're a buyer and you actually want to show your bids to the market as well, these are buyers here. This is the highest buyer, right? So they bid the highest price, and down here they get a bit cheaper, but they're showing their orders to the market. So of course we can trade these orders as well if we want to, or we can join the order book as well and give our order to the market and say, I'm willing to trade at this price. So the first thing we're going to do is just go ahead and buy BTC. If you've got euros or another fiat currency or stable coin or whatever, just go and choose the currency pair that you want to trade right here. And on the right hand side, we can enter our order. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy. I'm a buyer right here, and I'll show you a market order first. The market order is where we go ahead and trade immediately at the best possible price that is available right now. So if we're a buyer, that means that we have to meet with a seller. And if we're trading a market order, we don't choose the price that we pay. We just come down here and trade this order. Whichever is the cheapest seller at the current time, that's the price that we will trade. So we'll take their order off the book and take their Bitcoin that they're offering. So we can go to the right hand side here and we will choose an amount to trade with. You can choose either the currency that you're spending. So order by value is, if I've got US dollars or euros or whatever, how much do I want to spend? $10, $20, 50 euros, whatever it is, you can do that order by value. You can also order by the quantity of Bitcoin that you want to buy, or that would be whichever currency you're buying, right? So ETH or Solana, whatever, you can do that. For most people, I think just saying buy $50 worth is the easiest, so I'll keep it there. Then we can come up and say how much you want to buy, so you can put that in. And I'm going to buy $20 worth. And as soon as we press buy, we will buy that crypto because we're using a market order. We take the best offer at the current time, which is this one here. So buy, check everything. If that's okay, press buy, and that's done immediately, right? Up at the top, you can see it's filled. It's completely filled here because I don't have any positions. I don't have any open orders. You can see absolutely none, right? So if you go to order history or trade history, you should be able to see there will be a buy order right here. So I have a buy, and that's it. You can see it's the exact order I put in. That traded immediately because it was a market order. If you want to choose the price that you pay and join the order book, you can use a limit order as well. So we're going to buy with a limit order. So we're a buyer here, not a seller, we're a buyer. Limit order right here. Now we can choose the price that we're willing to trade at. The price that we just traded at was the best offer that was available for us. But we can also choose to pay a price that we're happy with. So a limit order is telling the system, trade immediately as long as the price in the market is the same as or better than my limit. So if I put a limit in for 200,000, what I'm saying is buy immediately as long as the price is 200,000 or better. Now the price is 117,000, so it's going to buy immediately for me. That's pretty much the same as doing a market order. So most of the time with a limit order, what we do is put our limit order a little bit below the current price, right? So I can say I'm willing to trade at 117,200, right? And the current price is 117,460. Let's put an amount in that we want to buy. So we can do that. And then here we're going to press buy. We're going to confirm that. And now you can see that I've actually got an open order. The reason this order is open is because my limit price is lower than the market price. So why would anyone trade with me and sell Bitcoin to me at 117,200 when they can sell it to someone else who's bidding a much higher price, 117,460, right? So we're not going to trade straight away, but the Bybit trading system has our order and it's working the order for us. It's an open order. They know that this is our limit. They know that we are firm. We have cash tied up with this order that is willing to buy at that level. If the market price goes down and there is a seller willing to trade with us, then we will trade. If there isn't, this trade won't get done. You don't pay any trading fees here. You only pay trading fees when you actually exchange assets. So what we can do here is we can edit this order right here. If you click edit, you can edit the price. So let's edit the price to 117,300 like that. Press OK. Now, you may find that if you don't have enough money because you've just upped the price, right? So if you don't have enough cash to settle, it may say you need to add more cash or change the order price. You can change the amount of your order and everything like that here. On the right-hand side, you can just see here that you can cancel that order as well. So let's press cancel. That order is canceled. We didn't trade, we didn't pay any trading fees, and we can edit our order again in the future if we want to trade to a price that is nearer the current market price. If you want to sell, then it's the exact same thing. We're just now on the different side of the order book. So I'm going to press sell here, and I just bought some BTC, right? So we've got some BTC to sell. Again, if you want to sell immediately, just choose market order. Choose the amount that you want to sell. That will be in dollar terms, whatever it may be. And you can go ahead and sell immediately. Press sell. That sells at this price now, which is the best bid. Now, if we want to use a limit order on the sell side, then again, if we choose a limit order that is too cheap, so 99,000, that's going to sell immediately for us. Even though our price is 99, our limit price, we're going to sell at the best bid, which is 117,430. If you want to sell a bit higher, then we can put that in. So 120,000 is where I want to sell. Let's choose to sell this amount of BTC. We can press sell here, sell. And again, it's an open order because we're selling at 120. If the market price rises to 120 and there's a buyer willing to sell with it, willing to trade with us there and buy our crypto there, then we'll trade at 120. But because it's a limit order, we will not trade anywhere below that. And when 120 is actually available at the market, then we'll go ahead and trade at that price. Again, if you want to cancel, right-hand side, press cancel here, and then that limit order is out. You can keep assets in your unified trading account, no problem. And if they're not tied up in orders, they just sit there. However, any orders that you have, for example, a limit order, you have to tie the assets up in that order, right? Because they may trade in the future and you need to settle those assets, right? So you need to swap the assets with the other trader. And so if you have a limit order with $1,000 in there or 1,000 USDT, that 1,000 USDT has to be tied up in the order, and so it will stay in your unified trading account and you can't withdraw it unless you cancel the limit order, and then you can withdraw those funds into your funding account. I just showed you trading in the spot market, which is where you cash settle trades. That means that if you want to buy $1,000 of Bitcoin, you need $1,000 of value to swap for it. So either USDT or euros or whatever else. You swap and you cash settle immediately. That's the spot market. On Bybit, you can also trade with margin in the spot market. That is where you can open up a trade that is bigger in size than the amount of cash or assets that you have down, right? So let's say I've got 1,000 USDT. I can open up a trade with 2 or 3x leverage, which means the trade size can be 2 or 3,000. It's 2 or 3x the actual cash that I have down. If you trade futures as well, you can trade with leverage, which is the same thing, right? So you have $1,000 of cash there. You can open up a $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 trade. How does that work? I'll quickly show you. In the spot market, the amount of cash you have is the amount of cash you need to settle. So you've got $100, you buy $100 and that's that, right? With margin, that is where you can take extra trades with leverage in the spot market. So you're trading in the spot market, but the exchange, Bybit in this case, will give you extra to trade with. And in futures, it's actually a different market, but it's the same thing. You can put $1,000 cash down. You can open up those bigger trades. So let's say I've got $1,000 in the account. This is in my unified trading account now. So I've got 1,000 USDT in there. Well, with margin and futures, I can use leverage. So let's say I'm using 2x leverage on this, right? 2x leverage on my 1,000, which means that I can open up trades worth $2,000. How can we do that? Well, the exchange doesn't really care what size your trade is. It just cares that you can fund any potential losses in that trade, because the exchange is not going to take on a bad debt, or it's not going to allow you to have a bad debt and then try and put money in after. It's not going to allow you to do that. You can open up a $2,000 trade, no problem, because you have $1,000 there to collateralize and pay for any potential losses, right? So with a 2x leverage trade, 2x on the $1,000 that we have, we've opened up a $2,000 trade. If we have a 10% move, right, in our $2,000 trade, that's $200, which is like a 20% move in our original capital. Everything is 2x, right? And of course, if we have, let's say, a 50% move, then that's where we get into some trouble if it's a loss. So if you lose 50% on a $2,000 trade and you've got $1,000 of collateral, that's when Bybit, in this instance, will say, hey, look, you've got no more cash to pay for that trade. So we're going to get you out of that trade at a loss and basically take the cash to pay the other side of the trade and take your loss. So they'll liquidate you, right? They will say, look, you got no more cash to pay for the position, you're out. And so with margin and futures, it just matters how much collateral that you have to pay for the trade. So with 2x leverage, if we lose 50% in our $2,000 trade, we've wiped out our collateral. However, if you make a 50% win or a gain in the $2,000 trade, you've made $1,000, which is actually like doubling your $1,000 collateral. So using leverage makes percentage movements in your actual trade size much bigger in relation to the amount of collateral that you have down. So that is how you can trade with leverage on Bybit, is putting collateral into your unified trading account, and the dollar value of that collateral is used to fund potential losses in your trades and fund the trades. That's how you can open up bigger size than the amount of collateral that you have on Bybit. This is where the unified trading account gets a little bit more complex. Anything in your unified trading account is going to be used as collateral to fund any trades that you have open. So for example, you can put USDT and USDC in here as collateral. You can see that. Super easy. You've got $1,000 of a stable coin. That's $1,000 of cash to pay for your position. You can also use other assets as well. So for example, Bitcoin here, ETH, staked ETH, many others you can see here. You can switch them on and off to use as collateral. If they're on, that means that the dollar value of that asset is going to be used as collateral to fund any positions. So if you've got a few very high leverage risky positions on, any assets in your unified trading account are going to be used towards collateralizing that trade. If you make a big loss, they could potentially get liquidated to fund the losses, right? And so turn these on and off as you want. If you have a lot of assets in your unified trading account and you don't want them tied up in trades, move them out into your funding account. That way they're not going to be tied up and you won't lose them if you wake up one morning and the crypto market's down 20%, which it can do. There is also another way. If you go into your settings in the top right, you can create sub accounts. And again, those sub accounts completely firewall the assets in those sub accounts. So you may have a sub account for super risky trades and you just don't want that anywhere near, some other assets that you have on the platform. So you can do that as well. But any assets that you have in your unified trading account will go towards more margin and leverage positions. You can toggle on assets specifically here to use as collateral or not, as the case may be, or just withdraw them into your funding account if you don't want them anywhere near your trading account. If you want to know how to trade with margin on Bybit or trade in the futures market with leverage, I will leave that for videos down in the description. Those videos are super in-depth. They show you step by step every single thing you need to know about taking the leverage. You see live positions and everything like that. Very in-depth, so I'll leave that for those videos. If you want the deposit bonus on Bybit, if you're signing up, that link is at the top of the description as well. I'm James, this is MoneyZG. Cheers for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.